Hey everybody, Jim Powers with MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. And last week we had a chance to talk to the women's basketball side of things. This week we're going to visit with the men's basketball team, and we'll start off with their head coach, Jesse Shaw. And Jesse, I know when we talked back a bunch of months ago when you were hired, just the transition and all that stuff. Well, now that you're on campus, you're able to kind of talk to the guys and get practices in and all that. How's the transition gone for you and your new coaching staff?
Well, I mean, obviously with everything going on, it's been about as crazy as a transition as you could imagine. I don't think that it's anything with with me or the school. It's just 2020 is what's made it so crazy. On top of just it normally being a little bit hectic in transitioning, but we're really just having to adapt and adjust and on the fly and do the best we can. And the interesting thing is everybody's kind of dealing with a hectic year, so it's not just going to be me and whoever else is a new head coach in our conference this year dealing with it. Everybody's dealing with it to a certain extent. It might help us out, it might not. We'll see.
When we talked last, you weren't really 100% sure on your assistant coaches, but let's talk about your assistant coaches now. And with Justin and with Tap, I mean, we've got a couple guys that are going to be with you that are just unbelievable coaching minds.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that when you look at our staff, I tell our players that we have the best assistant coaches in the country. When you look at their resumes, and then Coach Gauntz, we didn't really know him personally coming into this, so I had scouted against him and coached against him. But you can't ask for a better graduate assistant coach either. So when you look at Coach Tapp and his Hall of Fame experience as a head coach on this level and also in our league, and being from the area regionally his whole life, and then Coach Anderson having played in the league, coached in the league two different times, and built champions and played on champions, and with his Division I experience, and how much time he spent in Illinois, which is the area we target recruiting. I mean, you can't ask for a better combination there. And then Coach Gauntz has been the icing on the cake this fall.
No doubt about it. And I know the guys are have been excited to get out on the floor. I've been able to come out and watch you guys every now and then. It just seems like with the crew you got in there, these guys are ready to learn. They're ready to work, and they're ready to get after it a little bit and start playing somebody other than somebody in a white jersey, a black jersey, or a red jersey here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they are playing some different people. It's their coaches right now because we only got 6 players out there. But I think that what's been interesting about this year, as opposed to a lot of different years, is the honeymoon stage keeps coming back, and it doesn't really wear off as much because we were not able to get on the court until September 16th. So normally by September 16th, you're kind of starting to get a little sick of the preseason routine, and you're starting to wear on each other a little bit. And at that point, we had barely seen each other in person. So that was kind of unique. And right when we got into kind of the grind, we had been going about a month, about 5 weeks. We had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and we all shut down with the way that one unraveled with contact tracing. So we had that one positive test, and we were all shut down. And that, I think that if we went straight through, we probably would have been really, really sick of each other by this point. But we got to get away, and then we came back, and we had what we have going on right now is the from a competitive standpoint, it's the dreaded single positive every 2 weeks. So then when we came back, we had 4 more guys had to go down because of contact tracing with one single positive. But I think what the silver lining for all that is we aren't really getting sick of each other yet. And as you mentioned kind of at the beginning, the guys have been really willing to learn, and they've been really enjoyable to work with, and have had a great attitude and worked hard. And we just have had so little time together, and we've had this massive break in the middle of October, November that you normally get, that everything still kind of stayed pretty fresh for October, or for November 17th. It's about as fresh as I can remember being. which is a positive. But the negative is obviously we just don't have that time on the court to really continue to work with them, and that's going to put us at a competitive disadvantage. But you're hearing the same stories throughout most of the league, so it is what it is.
And I think that's the one thing everybody needs to remember and needs to realize too, with everything that's going on. We're not the only ones in this boat. I mean, you're hearing from a lot of schools, not only Division II schools, Division I schools, Division III schools, that are dealing with a lot of the same issues and a lot of the same things that we're dealing with.
Oh yeah, I think I think we're about par for the course. I think there's teams that have gotten hit harder, and I think there's teams that have gotten luckier, have missed it for right now. And I think we're just about right there. As I talk to coaches throughout the league, just and I feel like our university's had a really good detailed plan, and we've managed this thing about as well as any campus. And I think from an athletic standpoint, I think that we have had 2 quarantines, 1 full team and 1 4-guy quarantine. But you're hearing, I heard a coach in the league say that he had 1 guy that's quarantined for 42 days and has never tested positive. And there's teams that have been down 2 or 3 times as a full team. So we're definitely in better shape than them. And then there's some teams that have only had 1 guy go down here or 2 guys there. They've been very fortunate. But I think we are I think we're right in the middle of having to deal with the quarantines and all that.
Well, I know one thing. We're hoping that we've got basketball next Sunday, against Missouri S&T. Talk a little bit about just how excited you are to walk out in the, Maloney Arena and, get ready for that first game, your first head coaching game here at Maryville, but also with this group of guys.
Well, it's getting to that time of year. My internal calendar is a little bit off because you feel like we should be a couple games in and we're not there yet. But yeah, no, we're really excited. It's kind of hard it's kind of an interesting year to get excited because there's always this cloud hanging over your head. Like, we took our COVID test this morning. Are we going to have a positive and be shut down and have to cancel our first 4 games? That's always kind of hanging over your head a little bit. So it makes you cautiously optimistic, but we're going full speed ahead. Like we're going to play and we're preparing for that. And we're really excited about it.
I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like, holy smokes, we should be like 3 games in right now. We haven't even played a game yet. I'm trying to figure out all the broadcasting stuff. It's like, normally we're into a flow right now. And, obviously with everything and all that stuff, we haven't been able to get there yet, but I know we're excited about it. So Jesse, I know it's a busy time. We appreciate it. Can't wait to get the ball rolling next Sunday as we open up against Missouri S&T. And I know we'll start our weekly talks here in the next week or so.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Thanks, Jim.
No problem. Jesse Shaw, the head coach of our men's basketball team here at Maryville, joins us once again. They'll open up the season next Sunday against Missouri S&T at 3:30 right here in Maloney Arena. Once again, no fans will be permitted. We'll have all the action for you, though, on Saints Vision and the GLVC Sports Network, so we're real excited about that. For Coach, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.